But like I said, no one's and we're about to get into another topic afterwards where no one got hurt or got damaged or violated in any sense physically, and people are ready to tear up the internet for it. So we can get into the next story. So Megan Thee Stallion.
Yeah. So there was a deep fake video.
You can already tell with her voice. The way your voice switched up.
I just don't like it.
It's sick, young.
It's to say, when you're a woman of that caliber and you're dating somebody who obviously makes way less money than you, the trend usually is for them to not get married on paper.
See, and that's funny because when it's the other way around, you don't care about her. If it was a nigga who James Harden, if he act like that, he the worst in the world.
Mm-hmm.
It's crazy.
It feels different when a man takes your money versus like
he held it down though. If he held it down like Petty did, Petty held it down.
I don't know. Petty didn't hold it down.
He did.
Petty held her down.
There was some dark times.
It's been weighing heavy on my heart. I saw a video of Nicki Minaj. She was coming up from the bottom of the thing. She's on tour. She's performing. She's coming up from the stage. She takes a pull. I'm like, okay, this is the last pull. Cause you can see the head. Nope. She takes another pull. I'm like, all right, this has to be the last pull. She takes one more pull, and then she holds it down and realizes that she's too high, so that she just drops the blunt. She just flings it. And then she starts, and I'm like, girl, how you smoking a blunt that close to like you immediately performing? And then I was like, that's why she be so winded on stage. I understand, because you be smoking right before you get out.
She not even no real conservative because she had her tits out in a video like right afterwards.
Yeah, she's
a trad thought. We can't use their words.
Your whole life is revolved around talking about other people's lives.
What the fuck do you think your ass is doing on that podcast now?
This podcast is sponsored by Graffiti Tax Services. For all your tax preparation needs, you can go to graffititax.com. We're going to put the link right here. It should be somewhere. And yeah, you can head to them during tax season. And if you have any financial or tax preparation questions, head to Graffiti Tax Services. They're our new sponsor. Thank you to Graffiti Tax Preparation Services. That's it.
We gotta take me to court, man, early in the show. We gotta get to this.
Get it out of the way so the mood can lighten up.
Because I can just see the tension is just so thick here. And I don't feel like I'm entirely in the wrong, but let me just plead my case. So it was a Friday. Coming home from working hard with my parents in the yard, you know, trying to be a good son. And I fall into a convenience store trying to get some electrolytes. Get me going. Get me back into the game.
I guess.
So I walk up into the line. A young lady walks to the store at the same time, and I let her get in front of me. And she tries to buy a lighter. I guess she wanted to use her Apple Pay or whatever, and that wasn't an option. He told her, hey, man, we need to see your card, ma'am. So she went out. She went to get her card, no hassle. So I went in, got my services and goods, and I noticed the lighter was still there. And there I'm thinking, hey, let me just be a gentleman. And I can just cop that lighter.
Wrong thought.
Which I did.
Wrong thought.
And I went out there, and I gave it to the lady. No name exchange, no talking. Just gave her the lighter, went about my day. Mm-hmm. I don't see what was wrong. There was nothing there.
First of all, you spent money on another woman.
Okay.
That's number one.
Okay, well,
number two, you didn't tell the people. When he told me the story, he was like, oh, yeah, she was in front of me and she had a fat ass. So that's exactly what you said. You said she had a fat ass, so that's probably why I bought the lighter.
That doesn't sound like anything.
That's literally exactly what you said.
That doesn't sound like anything that I would even bring up in that.
Verbatim, that is what this man said.
I'm pretty sure I didn't even notice.
So you bought the lighter for her because she had a fat ass.
I don't believe that's what happened. I believe
you weren't being a gentleman.
I think in my mind,
that is the problem. Not only were you spending money on another woman that you don't know, you were spending money on her because she looked good.
I don't think it was because she looked good. I disagree with that.
I should flip all this shit over right now. I'm getting mad talking about it.
It's because I think you're just totally misinformed.
I'm not
on
misinformed.
the approach that you're taking.
That's exactly what you said. And then after he told me this, I bought her the lighter because she had a fat ass, and I reacted the way I should. He was like, "Oh, I'm just gonna hide these things from you now."
That's not how that happened.
Wow.
That's
now,
not how that happened.
Not only did you cheat on me,
that's not cheating.
You're gonna lie to me from now on, moving forward.
I just feel like some information,
admittedly so,
some information just needs not to be shared. But the information about the size of her behind probably only came up just because it was right. She was right in front of me. It was probably just saying that. Like, it wasn't even like I was trying to give her a compliment.
Flip all this shit over right now.
What are you talking about? Anything you're saying right now doesn't make any sense. Okay, I was being a gentleman. I was showing a feminine woman kindness and
because
something that nothing in return.
In front of you
she get on her own. Get it out the mud.
Okay,
what you mean? Get it out the mud.
You weren't just being a gentleman.
If you want to be a stud, get it out the mud. I'm not here to delegate that. It was a feminine woman. She was in need, and I just did my masculine, duty to just assist her with just getting a lighter. It was a big lighter.
As a married man, your duty
is to
me.
That's true. That's my first priority. Me. My first priority and duty is to you. I'm not going to say that's not true at all. That is 100% the case.
But
I still have to be, an example to the community.
I'm about to start letting niggas pay my bills.
No, what? No.
Same thing.
Don't try me. No, it's not.
That's literally
no, it's not. No, it's not.
It's literally.
I'm showing kindness to someone. Someone is trying to show kindness to you.
Me
not the same thing.
Kindness.
No, it's not. That doesn't.
I can't accept kindness.
Nope, not that kind. Not of that variety.
So you can give out kindness of that variety?
Yes, because I'm that kind of guy.
So if that kind of guy wants to be kind to me, he can't be kind to me?
No. Because you already have that kind of guy.
Yeah.
You already have that kind of guy.
What if she already had that kind of guy? Did you not take that into consideration?
I can tell it wasn't, because that kind of guy wouldn't have allowed her to not have all her accoutrement when she was leaving out. Even I make sure if that happened, you have cash in your pocket. So that's wouldn't be no problem.
I've had to come back from the grocery store before.
That's because we knew to make sure you had your card. You don't want to keep forgetting your card. They don't take Apple Pay.
They did take Apple Pay. Apple Pay wasn't working.
Well,
I had to come back.
Okay.
You didn't make sure of nothing.
I did. Then. Well, I thought you would have been good. I gave you
the other day at the Walmart.
What?
You was with me. It wasn't. Had to go back out to your car because you wasn't making sure shit was right.
That's not
you were with me.
That's not true at all.
You were with me.
It was right. We got that all together.
And then I had to make a split decision.
You didn't make any split decision. Everything was paid for in full, and we came out all good.
Yeah.
That's all it was. I just had to go grab something else out the car, and that's all that happened.
No, that's not what happened. He left us hanging.
That's crazy.
You didn't do what you needed to do, which was keep your phone charged as a man. Why is your phone dying?
Because I'm using it on you.
As a man, why is your phone dying?
Because I have a woman that needs me so much.
It's not because you're using it on me. It's because you using it on them niggas.
What?
In spaces.
That's not even. This was too early in the day. This was too early in the day for that even to happen.
It's never too early in the day. I'll be waking up. You already in the spaces with me.
I'm listening to old ones that I may have missed.
Yeah, a fucking obsessed
because they be funny.
Psychopath.
It's like a show. It's funny.
It's not.
You got to keep up with all the characters. There's always new lore being attached. Don't do that.
Let's move on.
Are you tired of paying a lot of money for your vacation? My name is Shirley Proctor, and I am a partner with Tavodian, a traveling membership group. I can help you save time, money, help you and your loved ones see the world.
Oh, yeah.
All right, you're now listening to Talk FNF TV. I'm your host, Rhetoric, and I'm with my lovely and amazing and wonderful co-host, Miss Reality.
Hi, guys.
I don't have the applause today because y'all are hating, and she didn't put me on restriction with the soundboard. So
let us know how y'all feel about there not being a soundboard this episode.
No, I just feel like y'all hating. Test. I was on Monica McNutt's side, and I was just giving her the energy that I think she deserved.
Sometimes, though, we can't hear. We simply cannot hear.
There's a method to the madness that some of y'all just won't understand, and I'm just okay with that. Like, I'm not here to make y'all know what this whole inner working and everything that goes into it. I'm not here to let y'all know what that is because y'all don't need to understand it. Y'all just need to enjoy the content. So
they need to hear the content to enjoy the content.
They can hear it, man. We're going to get into this. All right, so we got to break down this YSL case has come to another peak in the proceedings. It's gotten so crazy that we're now arresting lawyers and attorneys.
Yeah, it's absolutely insane.
So we had an article, right?
Yeah. So let me pull it up really quickly.
And this is just insane. Like, this is really now just turning into a full, like, shit show. Mm-hmm. I don't really know a way to explain it. Like,
it is.
We got folks who acting wild on the stand, like they special needs. We got other folks who not trying.
Everybody has been acting like they're special needs on. Let's not say that.
No, he literally was doing that. It was one of the dudes. I think that
like
was
specifically.
Yeah, there was. Okay. I think his name was YSL Pablo.
I'm the one that's wilding. My bad.
No, I think that was YSL Pablo. He was out there doing what he had to do to sell his case, but he went down for something else on a separate trial. So,
of course,
you got YSL Woody going crazy, trying to plead the fifth, got him locked up. Now they saying the judge, as well, basically Young Thug's lawyer, and we can get into the article in just a minute, but Young Thug's lawyer basically was trying to pull the card of the judge saying you was over there using your power incorrectly, threatening witnesses. In turn, the judge then gets pissed off and says, no, you're going in jail for 20 days.
He holds him in contempt.
And now he's going to have to do weekends next to Thug.
Yeah.
In the jail.
So Brian Steele is Young Thug's attorney. So on court on Monday afternoon, he got sent. It's been like almost 90 days of this trial, by the way, which is absolutely insane because you have a right to a speedy trial in the Constitution, but that doesn't ever actually happen. So he approaches the bench following recess and reveals his knowledge of an ex parte conversation that took place before court on Monday morning. This conversation involved judge, prosecutors, and witness Kenneth Lil Woody Copeland, reportedly including Copeland's admission to killing Nut. So when he admitted to killing Nut is in this like secret meeting that they had with the judge, the prosecutors, and the witness without Brian Steele. So the judge then like demanded to know where he got his information, and Brian Steele is like, I'm not revealing my source. Like, it's attorney-client privilege, and I'm not revealing this. And the judge is like repeatedly asking him and getting increasingly frustrated that Brian Steele is not telling him where he got this information from. And then he holds him in contempt. So Brian Steele was removed. And then before he was removed, he asked for a mistrial. The judge is like, I'll consider it. Then he's removed. Several other attorneys demand a mistrial. Steele also told the judge that his removal deprived his client of his right to counsel, and that's why he requested the mistrial. So this is a shit show. Yeah. So he has a couple weekends in jail, and he requested that he spend them with Young Thug. And I think the judge approved his request to like be in jail with Young Thug. He's literally YSL Steele now.
They trying to put the attorney in the RICO already. This is insane. And then this already happened with a woman where she got arrested. That was one of the attorneys.
Yeah.
So like, this hasn't been...
The first attorney from this trial was already arrested.
This hasn't been a good turnout. This has really just been insane just to see what's going on. And I don't even if they do a mistrial, I don't see them giving up on this. They're going to stay pressed on like, no, we have to take this man down. So that's why I don't feel like... And to be truthful, like, yo, a lot of this evidence, even before the shenanigans, is still damning. And even you got folks taking hits and stuff and saying, hey, I did X, Y, and Z. Come on, man. We know there's more information going on. And I just feel like at the end of the day, we need justice. Mm-hmm. We need to make sure the people are feeling a little bit safer in the city and the right things happening, because you can't sit out here and try to play this man. It just seems like the marketing behind this and the way that the hip hop media is trying to present this and show what they've been showing. Because again, we're not seeing everything. Yeah. We're not seeing the stuff that's damning, the stuff that makes him look crazy and bad. Mm-hmm. Like, no, we're just seeing the stuff that is...
The stuff that they're actually getting him on.
The most exciting stuff and the stuff that's going to get more clicks. Mm-hmm. So
Well, yeah, it's like TikTok and Twitter and stuff. Like
we're sitting here, folks, trying to turn Thug into a martyr, and I think that's where it gets kind of troubling for me. I don't think that we can't include him in some type of martyr. I think he deserves a fair trial.
Definitely.
I think that he deserves his due process. But at the same token, I'm not going to sit here and be like, free Thug. I'm not going to say that. That's crazy. What? I'm just saying.
You think he was doing that shit?
I'm just going to say that I've heard things, and I just was not savory.
Yeah, living in Atlanta for as many years as you did.
It's just not savory thing.
Yeah.
So,
like,
I mean,
you hear things.
If those things come out to be true, you got to serve justice for that. But in the same token, I'm not going to sit here and just be like, oh, you need to go down because for the sake of you needing to go down.
Yeah. And then we need to have a conversation about, like, this man was only terrorizing the black community. So what do we do about that? Like, do we keep our mouths shut and let this man continue to allegedly only terrorize our community?
Yeah. I mean, so it's not like there was a lot of things going on where, like you said, go into other people's communities. It was all
in-house.
Black people.
Yeah. So, like, how do we feel about that?
Yeah. It's tough.
That's what sucks about being black is because, like, you don't want this bless you. You don't want this man you never want a black man to go to jail. But at the same time, if you're doing it, then that's where you belong. The jails just need to be better.
Yeah. I mean, the system is fucked up, and there is a lot of black men who get accused of crimes that they didn't do. So again, if they can show that Thug, like, I'm not one of those people who I see them throw out shit on a technicality and then I award you to be like you some here. Oh, you was not innocent. You know, no, nigga, you was guilty. You just didn't they just couldn't prove it. Like, is that I'm not one of those individuals. I see a lot of that in our community where
so why every
we
time
turn a blind eye
I
to
say that King Von was a serial killer, you
well, I never said no.
Okay.
I just said the nigga was wild.
That man was a serial killer.
I never said. I mean, at this time,
they need to do a real documentary about King Von.
Don't hate on Trap Lil Ross like that. Trap Lil Ross did that.
Okay, an actual documentary budget documentary.
That's hate. Trap Lord. You know how I feel about the small creators. He did good work on that. But to stay on point on with this in regards to this Young Thug situation, again, to all the families, the people involved, I want what's best and justice to happen, because. Like, just till you hear some of the stories, them people had kids, man. Them people had lives were going on. People were trying to change their lives.
All them people were somebody's child.
So, like, a lot of that violence and stuff that was noted has to be recognized. We can't just turn a blind eye and just see where they trying to bring up lyrics. No, they're not. They're trying to use lyrics to show that this man was taunting, after his
and we know that happens in hip hop a lot. Like,
for sure.
Like, it happens with all the Chicago rappers, with all this very violent rap. Like, people be taunting each other after they do the crimes. They'll go and they'll record about the crime that they did. So using songs as evidence in that specific instance is not that crazy. Y'all just need to stop doing crimes and then rapping about it.
And then
it's
also
very simple.
And also that Gunna statement is going to come back to bite everybody in the ass, man. That admission that YSL is a gang. That is going to come back. That was vital in what they needed. That was the only reason they letting that nigga out. Is they have a confession essentially of YSL is a gang from a potential associate and or member. Mm-hmm. But I mean, Thug Daddy at Gunna's.
He was. So he showed up. Gunna had a really big Atlanta concert recently, and it was packed out. And Young Thug's dad was there,
jamming
front row, showing support. So
it looks like there's, like I said, I was always thought to that theory that he was just saying what he had to say to get back on the road to get money, but Thug couldn't make it. He couldn't say one way or the other just because of he's fighting a case. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You can't just be like, oh yeah, buddy good or buddy not good.
And then Gunna,
that just looks crazy.
From my understanding, was always a super artistic kid that just ended up rapping around these people, but he was never a gangster himself. I
mean, they were the scene. I mean, Thug and them were the scene at the time. So it's not like he can go in there and just say, oh, I'm about to do some Christian raps. Like you gotta get on point, on code.
I'm just saying, he was never in gangs and stuff, was he? Or no?
I mean, not from. I knew a girl who went to school with him, and she said he was always the artsy kind of nigga. He just wanted to make music, and that was kind of his wave. But of course, like I said, when you get into the Atlanta scene or get into any major hip hop scene, you're going to have to get associated with violence early because that's who usually fronts the first, couple 100,000.
Yeah.
it's the gangbangers.
That's unfortunate.
I mean, that's part of the cycle where it's like I have illegal money and drugs and, selling guns and shit. Where do I put this at to legitimize it?
Yeah, that's how
the
Jay-Z
local rapper
started, allegedly.
I mean, I guess we can get into that then. Jay-Z's new little project that he talking about. Essentially, what's going on is like a $300 million fund was set up, and it was basically for to have kids that were in inner city schools and public schools be able to now transfer and get selected to go to private schools. So on face value, that sounds like, whoa, that's some dope shit. Jay-Z's helping the community. And then you ask yourself, the question is, why aren't we just making the school that the kids already go to better?
Yeah.
Like, why are we still promoting
why are we
private schools?
transferring people out of public schools to put them in private schools?
When a lot of these schools are based off of how many kids go to the school.
Yeah.
Then also based on the performance of the school. So now you're taking some of the best and brightest from public school systems out of public schools into these private schools, only doing what? Hurting the public schools.
Yeah.
And everybody keeps wanting to get Jay-Z like his hand clapping praise for that. It's like, but folks are really understanding what's going on. It's in Pennsylvania. Folks are really understanding what's going on now. Like, folks can see the charade. Like, this is just a tax write-off. This isn't any kind of like gesture of good faith. This isn't, him trying to be the black messiah. It's just a tax write-off and essentially going into more of the issues of what's going on with, how they're trying to destroy public school systems because they know who gets affected, poor and minorities. And it's just crazy. Like,
you could easily just like make some public school, like give your money to some public schools.
But Hov has had like a horrible track record with these charities. You remember the one that had the one cutting the kids' hair and all that shit?
Yeah.
Then he tried to bring the Bitcoin to the hood.
That too.
And
then a lot of people don't like how he basically displaced a bunch of black families in Brooklyn to build the Barclays Center.
So, I mean, the list just goes on. And just for folks to think like he's doing something good for the community, it's like, no, like this black capitalism, this black exceptionalism that y'all keep trying to promote only has a system of winners and losers. So at the same token, yeah, you may help 2 or 3 kids that have great promise. But now what about the kids that are just average or below average? What's going to happen to them? Nobody cares. But they become the ones that go into your house and take your shit and doing all that other stuff because they can't do nothing else to feed their families and whatnot, feed themselves. So, I mean,
disenfranchised completely.
We have to, like I said, that's what frustrates me about him. Like the Fred Hampton stuff that he tries to pull off, like the fact that he tries to dress up like this black sage with his hair all dreaded, and he takes all of these imageries of resistance, but he's nowhere near anything resistant.
No. Nothing
about Jay-Z is resistant at all.
Trying to be like having a seat at the table instead of just creating your own shit for your own people. Or
it's not even just like creating your own shit. It's investing in things that is going to be community based. Like this hurts the community. Like that's why you have people already putting up petitions. A lot of things that
he's done, you could argue, has hurt his community more.
But he goes to that black exceptionalism, and because I'm getting rich off of this, it has to be a good thing. And you have to understand it, or you're a hater.
Because people can use me as an example to hustle and get to where I'm at instead of me just using my resources for my community to help them just live better on a daily basis.
That's why we got to stop that motivation talk. Motivation is BS. Anybody who's going to tell you otherwise is trying to scam you out of money and get out your pocket. Any of that motivation, I want to go back to the hood and show my car so I can motivate. No, they're not.
Give them resources.
If you really want to motivate somebody, yes, give them resources. Give them capital. You can exchange it for some type of labor too, but make sure that labor is not dead-end labor and something that's just to make them busy. Like, make it labor that's going to help them and move into the right direction.
Yeah, you could give people as many speeches as you want to give them, but if they have no resources to put that into effect, then that's useless.
And we got to be honest, man. Useless. A lot of these hip hop people, we've been talking about it in our last Trump video where we did, but a lot of these hip hop people are being used to get right propaganda to get pushed. Like this right here is straight out of that new Project 25 shit that's coming out. So have you heard about that?
Yeah, I have.
So I think what I read about was like the Heritage Foundation, which is like a conservative think group, and they were the ones who came up with this. Yeah, think tank. They're the one who came up with this. So here's some of the stuff that they wanted to do. Unrestricted executive power. So essentially the president could do what he wants. Replace 50K civil servants with loyalists. That sounds crazy. That sounds like putting mercenaries out there.
Yeah.
Invoking the Insurrection Act of 1807. Prosecute political opposition. Abortion surveillance. Ban abortion pills. Promote the mailing of abortion pills. Abolish same-sex marriage. Forbid gay couples from adopting. Ban transgender health care. Repeal LGBT anti-discrimination laws. Ban pornography and queer media. Mass deportation of immigrants. Restrict legal immigration to the U.S. Build immigration internment camps. Is that concentration camps?
Literally concentration camps for immigrants.
Revoke birthright citizenship. So like if you was born in the country, you know, you automatically get citizenship. They're going to try to revoke that. What else here? Dismantle environmental regulations, which Trump already tried to do that. Deny the existence of climate change. Prioritize drilling more fossil fuels. So just destroy the planet. Damn it.
Destroy everything.
Eliminate the Department of Education, which that kind of goes back to this Jay-Z shit that I'm saying. Like that in and of itself can be in turn destroying education programs when you're trying to push them to these private institutions, which I went to a private school. They're not inherently better than public schools. Like that's just a narrative that they try to sell to y'all. Like them teachers be on the same BS. They be doing the same trash behavior. Just because it's at a private school does not mean anything.
Them wanting to abolish the education system, or what is it?
Department of Education
seems like the start of Fahrenheit 451.
They
like it literally just seems like the start of mass book burnings.
Yeah. They also have student loan forgiveness program, taxpayer money.
They just want everyone to be miserable and everything to be shit.
Taxpayer money to religious schools, which is insane. Like it is not going to be Muslim schools. You're not going to be seeing it going to mosque and all that other stuff.
Nope. Just Catholic schools.
And then this one just was disgusting to me. Destroy unions and collective bargaining. Are you out of your mind?
America was literally like, it was built on slave labor, but also unions.
But like that's literally, if you look up history, the best time in life was when unions were dominating. Like most people had more money to do what they wanted to do during that time.
The people who have union jobs in the U.S. are the happiest and the most financially stable.
For the most part, unless you had those folks who just get upset, like, oh, he's not working hard, the individualist people. Yeah. But what folks don't understand is like that union shit is so important. Like,
it's very important.
When you have folks that have all of this capital, the only thing you have is your ability to resist. That's the most powerful tool you have against your employer. And the more of y'all that resist together, the more valuable y'all bring. But because people are so caught up in themselves and wanting to be, hey, I'm the top, producer and all that other stuff, they forget like there's a whole group of people behind you that y'all can make y'all lives collectively easier if, one or two people aren't making stupid money. Because that's what they do now. They pay a manager, just like if you look at Walmart, they'll pay a manager 6 figures. A couple other managers, maybe like 70, 80 underneath them, assistant managers, and then everybody else is getting minimum wage, having to sign up for WIC and shit. Hold on, there's still some more in here. So, but that was just, when you start talking that anti-union mess, that's when you get on my bad side.
You're very passionate about that. He's very pro-union.
It says remove overtime protection laws, gut benefits for millions of workers, repeal the Affordable Care Act, full privatization of Medicare, and drops coverage for millions of users. I can't see it. It's blurred out. But it's just like they want to go out and destroy all of like what they have regulations for. They just wanted to destroy all that. And what people don't understand is like anytime someone talks about like deregulation being like a good thing, just understand they're only out for themselves. Their agenda is only for them, because when they say deregulation, they basically mean no one can have a third party to come in and say, hey, X, Y, and Z. Like nobody can control how they produce a product, how they give it to the companies and things like that. It's only you and your company, just like with the airports. I don't know if we said this on the show before, but the airports are the ones who approve their own like approval for safety measures for the plane. So like the companies are the ones, Trump did it. He ended he deregulated the airports and stuff like that industry in the industry, and it turns out that they're the ones who says, okay, it's safe. No, there's not a third party that has to come and say the plane's safe.
That's why all of this nonsense has been going on with these planes.
Yes, because they've been cutting corners trying to save money.
I had no idea that was a thing. I didn't know Trump did that. Trump did such a bunch of just random nonsense so that rich people could get richer.
Like people was talking about their taxes this year. That was Trump. That was your tax code. That was his tax code. And they was like, they want to blame Biden for X, Y, and Z, but man, it's just so much information.
Things take a while to go into effect.
Yeah, and then that's what people don't realize. Like a lot of the times when you have a change of presidencies like that, most of the time the stuff that's going on is happened from the last presidency. That's why a lot of shit with Trump looks so good because it was Obama. Obama had set up a lot of stuff that was helping people, but Trump got to take the credit for it.
Yeah. Okay, so we didn't go to see. We saw it at home.
We saw it a special way.
We saw Bad Boys, the new one.
Ride or Die.
Yeah, Bad Boys Ride or Die. And then like 5 minutes into it, we realized that we did not remember at all what happened in the third one. So we went back and watched the third one, and then we watched the fourth one, which made the similarities between the two movies like so glaring.
I think one thing we gotta point out too, like this movie, the third movie came out like right before like Kobe passed, the pandemic happened, like anything like that. So I think it's
very traumatizing period in our lives.
I think it's very understandable why a lot of people maybe didn't remember the movie, because I know I didn't remember it. I didn't remember he had the son. I didn't remember any, like it was.
That's the only thing I remember from the movie was that he had a son.
I did remember he got shot, but I didn't. I think I never finished up. I think I stopped around when the chief got shot. Like that's always what I remember was the chief getting shot in the movie. I don't remember watching it to the end. So I feel like a lot of people just didn't remember a lot of that, and it just made sense to me that we just go back and watch it. But it kind of tainted the movie for us a little bit. Would you agree? Because they did the exact same thing in the fourth movie that they did in the third movie. It just was from the other person's perspective.
Yeah. In the like opening storyline that we get in both movies, both of the main characters, Martin's character and Will's character, are shot and go into a coma.
Well, no, it's not shot. Martin didn't get shot. He just had a situation.
Oh yeah, he had a heart attack.
But he
ended up in a coma.
But it starts off with them racing in a car. Very similar. Martin's doing
Will is driving and Martin is complaining, and they're doing their back and forth, their little bit. So
then they do that. It comes back. They go to the wedding. He ends up having like, situation at the wedding, goes into a coma. And that was just like what happened with Will, because Will got shot by his son, went into a coma. We had to basically do all that situation all over again. And it was it was shot for shot. They even did the same way they introduced Michael Bay, the director. They did that the same way in both movies.
Yeah.
Like it wasn't even like they tried to be too much different. It just was like, all right, this movie's going to be about Martin now. The last movie was about Will.
Yeah. That's literally what it was. Martin was in the coma, so Will had to do all the stuff. And then in the fourth movie, Will was in the coma. Not the whole movie. And then Martin was basically doing all the stuff. But it was a good amount of both of them in the fourth movie.
Martin kept doing the action, but Will started doing the action still. Like he was still probably the main person doing that, but you could definitely see that like it was a full initiative to get this to be a Martin movie.
Yeah. And then I think there's going to be a fifth one, by the way this ended.
And how successful it's been.
It's so successful, which I wanted to talk about because people obviously...
I was going to say, before we do that, should we give a rating of the movie?
Oh, yeah, let's give a rating.
Because
out of 5 stars?
I just feel like, out of 5 stars, we can do that. My rating would probably be 3, just because of just so many similarities from the third movie. And just for the fact, like, the action scenes were the only thing holding this thing together. Like everything else was just way out there. I love what they did with the son-in-law, where they had him kick butt, which they've been setting that up for years. Yeah. Since like the second movie. So just to see him have his big, scene coming out, and then also doing everything with Will's son in the movie. Like
I like that they have like a team of sorts now from the third movie, and a lot of people showed back up.
Yeah. So I feel like if they do another one, it'll have to be like they're doing like their own Bad Boys unit.
Yeah, it's going to have to be like one of them is
in charge,
like the captain, or like they have their own team. like special unit.
Yeah, it would have to definitely go that way.
Deals with some type of drug crime in Miami or something like that.
So let's talk about their success.
Yeah, and I didn't give my rating.
Oh, my bad.
Fuck me.
I thought you said that you agree with me. My bad.
No, I don't. I'm gonna give it at least like a 3.5, maybe 4, because I don't watch Bad Boys. Even though like both of them had similar storylines, I'm not going into Bad Boys needing like cinematic like nuance in any sort of way. Like I want things to blow up. I want Will to shoot at niggas, and I want them to have witty back and forths, and I got that. So I'm gonna give it like at least a 3.5.
See, the reason why I couldn't give it anything more than a 3 was because they gave Will's wife no character at all.
She wasn't really.
She was there to be put in the refrigerator. Like she was a damsel in distress the whole time.
But
and then it didn't include
nothing.
We
got that vibe. We both got that vibe from the very beginning of the movie. We were like, she's here as like a driving force for character development for Will's character, but she isn't a character fully herself at all.
No, she's not fleshed out at all. Like
no,
they literally, we had nothing. I thought she was gonna be a traitor at the end because I thought it was gonna push to him being with his son, so they would kind of have their relationship. Because it just seemed like she meant absolutely zero to this plot.
No, she really.
And then the bad guy was just kind of lackluster in a way because they were just trying to frame the chief for a lot of like the old stuff. But it was like, did they even have a real connection to the chief? I don't remember
that either.
Like it just seemed like it was just kind of random that they were attacking him. Like I thought the daughter was gonna be part of it or something. Like I thought there was gonna be a twist to why this guy was kind of going at them, and it was just like, nah, we're just trying to shit on y'all chief. And then
I don't know. I feel like you might have been expecting too much from Bad Boys.
But the first one was so good, and the second, to me, the first 2 ones were the best Bad Boys, and the second one was like that's when they did the Haitian joint. They even talked about that when they referenced when they went to the Zoes.
Shout out.
And they had to do the shootout in the second one. So to me, that was always some of their best. That was like when Michael Bay used to kind of really get into his bag outside of Transformers. So I was always cool with Bad Boy. Even though he did do some weird stuff with Megan Fox in the first movie, but we won't have to bring that up right now. It is kind of crazy that he's still able to get this shit off and be in the movie.
You mean like behind the scenes he did some weird stuff with Megan?
He had her in a bikini when she was like 15 in the movie. And she was like being like an older sexual character.
In Transformers, she was 15?
No, in the first Bad Boys movie.
Oh, okay. I need to go back and watch that. I don't remember that at all.
No, we can do that when they all had 32-inch waist. Everybody was smaller. But no, let's talk about the success they had. This movie has been over 100 million in the box office so far with domestic and international.
Yeah.
It's like I think it was 150 is the number I saw last.
Nobody cares that this man slapped Chris Rock.
Yeah. I mean,
nobody cares.
So except Stephen A.
Except Stephen A. and my mom.
So let me tell the story, right?
Yeah.
So I was going to take everybody to go see Bad Boys. And I asked her mom, like, hey, you want to go see the new Will Smith movie? She goes, oh, no. That man slapped that other man on stage. We can't give money to that. And I was cracking up laughing because she was dead ass serious.
She was.
She was not trying to get no money to Mr. Will Smith at all.
The things that she has this much conviction about is so hilarious.
It made me ecstatic. I was crying laughing when she said that.
I wasn't even there. He came in and told me the story. Like, you will not believe what your mama just said.
See, and I see like everybody's like trying to do this thing where like, oh, he did this to Chris Rock. People love Chris Rock. Let's be honest about Chris Rock. Chris Rock is the black guy white guys like to hang out with.
Yeah, 100%.
Like he's not the black guy.
So is Stephen A.
Yeah, like they're not the black guys that
Stephen A. felt like he himself was slapped on that stage when Chris Rock was slapped.
He felt that slap.
He felt it.
He could see himself in Chris Rock.
His coon spirit felt the slap.
It felt attacked. He felt attacked. And I feel like that's what people not really understanding about this is like where they like, oh, why is people going back to Will Smith? To be honest with you, the only people who are mad are Caucasian people who love Chris Rock, Rob Schneider, and the community and comedy community for the most part. And I don't even think Kevin Hart's that upset. I think we would probably see Kevin Hart with Will Smith pretty soon. They're going to be hanging out. Philly guys doing their thing.
Yeah, definitely. I don't think the comedy community is that upset because I feel like they probably wanted Chris Rock to get slapped.
No,
like if
the comedy community's holding him up. You remember what they did
behind the scenes, bro. Like they probably were laughing at that, but they gotta like present a united front. But Chris Rock does like comedy that you could say makes black people does not look the best.
He does a lot of cringy content to that.
It's very cringy. It's like for white people at the sake of black people.
Yeah.
So I'm sure there are a lot of black comedians who feel like that, but he's one of the biggest comedians, so they can't come out and say that.
Well, this isn't a black comedian.
Other than like Cat Williams.
This isn't a black comedian. This is Rob Schneider. So let me hear you. Let me let you hear what he said.
Mm-hmm. Will Smith is a twat.
Oh, I liked him.
Will Smith has been hiding the fact of who he really is, and it was exposed that night. That he's really an asshole. But I wasn't allowed to say anything at that time because we were part of the committee that was supposed to punish him.
And how do you punish him?
Wow, wait. Just back up a second. Hang on.
I want to know
Will
what the punishment
Smith is like, for me, when I met him, right, I always say.
Like the nicest, most wonderful. He's a liar. Complete, utter fraud. Will is a douchebag, and that's something that you can't. The thing is, that's how politically correct the Academy is.
Right.
That they were so cowardly. Because if I would have done that, they would have been hauled out to prison. But because they were so worried about being, racist. Violence is what it is, and what the color of your skin or your religion doesn't matter.
Sure.
If you commit a crime in front of other people, you get hauled out of there.
Yeah, but didn't you also sort of think, he's standing up for his missus?
Hey, yo, Rob Schneider, put your head back up Adam Sandler's ass, please. We don't need to see it anywhere.
Wherever your head was for the past like 2 decades, Rob Schneider, go put it back where it was, because why are we even talking about him?
I just thought it was
in 2024.
I just thought it was so hilarious, just the grandstand
I saw
he was
his
doing.
face on my feed while I was scrolling Twitter, and I was like, I remember that face. What is that? And just kept scrolling. I didn't even click on it to see what he was saying.
For almost 2 decades, you was Adam Sandler's do boy. Like, who are you to come up and just say this kind of stuff about Will Smith?
Waterboy was my shit though. But that was Adam Sandler, huh?
Yeah, but he was in it there. He was
he was the you can do it guy. Yeah.
Rob Schneider.
That is your best shit.
No,
you can do it.
Deuce Bigelow, European Gigolo.
Oh yeah. What?
Deuce Bigelow that's his best work.
I'm just saying, did that age well?
No, but it's still funny.
It was, I watched all of the Deuce Bigelows.
Yeah,
there was more than one, right?
It was 2. It was Deuce Bigelow and then Deuce Bigelow, European Gigolo.
Yeah, I watched both of those.
But no, like Deuce Bigelow, you need to just go find something else to do. Go play with yourself. Like nobody really wants to care and hear about what you have to say about Will Smith. Like, especially when it's not funny. Like, you have to come from the comedy sector. Please come with jokes.
Is he
Don't
a
come with
comedian?
this cry. He is. Well, yeah, technically.
Oh, I didn't know. I never knew he was a comedian. I just thought
He's not
he was
stand up
like
necessarily, but I mean,
thought he was a funny looking actor.
He came from that era where you had to have like a 5 to 10 minute set to kind of progress.
Okay.
So he did have some type of scene on that, but I just thought it was funny. But I wanted to kind of get back to the success and where it stemmed from. These motherfuckers was everywhere.
They were doing a lot of press.
A lot of press.
Yeah.
They were on a grassroots tour. And I'm just going to say this. A lot of y'all actors are going to have to step it up now because the studios are seeing this. They're seeing that it's not just enough for you to do variety, do a piece here, piece there, come to a little Comic-Con. No, y'all going to have to really get in the weeds. Y'all going to have to start doing a lot more of these podcasts. Y'all going to stop being scared. And somebody's going to ask y'all a question that's going to trip y'all up, and come prepared. Will Smith had a statement ready for each podcast he was on.
Will has always been a people person.
Oh, no, he knows how to play the game.
Yeah, like he's always been like just the classically media trained person. Like he knows how to schmooze. He knows how to work the room. So, of course, during this, he's highly charismatic. Like he has mad charisma. So of course on this press run he had an answer for everything, and he just came off like confident, and that's just how he's always come off. He's always been confident. I'm that nigga. I've been that summer blockbuster nigga for how long? I'm your fave, and I'm your fave's fave. Period. And you need to remember that. And I was defending my wife when I slapped that coon.
But there hasn't even been much questions about it. I'm pretty sure everywhere they've gone, No questions about the slap. But Stephen A. tried to say, oh, Will Smith owes the community a sit down. He did. He literally apologized on his own. He came, he did the little video. It looked crazy. He apologized in the little seat. He said he was sorry for hitting Chris, and he kept it moving. He doesn't have to keep apologizing for people anymore.
I personally don't think that he was.
That video was insane, though. Will did.
I don't think he needed to apologize for hitting Chris, but I'm a black woman. He was defending his black woman. I don't think black women like.
You can't do it that publicly.
I can't that publicly.
You can't do that publicly. You have to take him to the back. Like you have to see him in the back. You can't slap him in front of TVs on the fucking the Oscars, right?
Am I toxic for like preferring that you do it?
100%.
Okay.
You are. That is a troubling and that is a bad quality to have.
Because I hope that Jada just let him have
Jada like she threw him under the bus. We saw that. Come on.
Oh yeah, I forgot that.
She threw him under the bus for that.
Jada, you are the worst, bro.
Like that's the craziest thing where it's like everybody loves Will Smith but his wife.
You are the worst because you should have just like it should have been you and 3 other women just like sucking his dick that night.
You know she's not down for that.
That night, you should have just been like on one nut,
she probably called
another
August
woman on
that
one
night.
nut, somebody on the head, somebody on the shaft. That's what you should have did for him after him slapping somebody that public. I would have been
no 100%
soaking wet.
She called August that
Should
night.
we beat that out?
I'll make a executive decision.
But like that, like if you ever put your hands on another man in my name, in my honor,
in my name is sick.
like just know that like I will think about that every day moving forward for the rest of our relationship in the most positive light.
You kind of have to. Especially with that much light around it, you would think that she would. But again, the 80s did a number.
That's a story I would tell on a regular basis.
The 80s did a number on y'all. Some of y'all. But again, y'all actors, y'all gonna have to step it up, man. Like they're not.
Oh yeah, that's what we were talking about. Yeah, y'all gonna have to. And this felt like a traditional press run from back in the day, where like actors actually had to like give a fuck for real.
You had to have a prepared statement. You had to be funny, charismatic, and it seemed like they brought that with every interview. Mm-hmm. Like I was watching clips like from just multiple places that I would not expect them to be right now. They was like on the Nelk Boys. Like I'm talking about they really doing the grassroots shit. Because to me, folks do them, but they're usually on a different kind of promo run when they do the Nelk Boys. Mm-hmm. It's not this high profile movie. There's this white podcast, but they usually are kind of like on a not as high of a promo run as this. And like I said, just to see that, like it's coming out. Like a lot of you guys, y'all don't get paid for promotion. So what? This is the way to sell the movie. And this is going to be, I
hope, worked because they made so much money.
I hope this becomes a standard. Like I would love to see more of these interviews, more of these people having to get out of their comfort zone and have real conversations.
I think it makes sense for these blockbuster type movies, but you know who's really good at absolutely taking over when they're rolling something out? Netflix.
Yeah.
The Bridgerton people have been everywhere.
But I mean,
every single like platform that they can be on, they are on. Mm-hmm. Like Netflix does a really good job at that. Like whatchamacallit? Jennifer Lopez, Sterling K. Brown, like all of those interviews went viral too because Sterling was like throwing shade at Jennifer Lopez too.
Yeah, he was taking her down.
Yeah, he was. But
but I think that's what brought more attention to that than anything else though, because we wasn't going to watch that. Not from that,
because it's Jennifer Lopez.
Not from that presentation they brought. I wasn't going to watch it.
But I think Netflix, especially when like the shows come along. And also with the reality shows too, like those people, they just be doing interview after interview after interview after the shows. Okay, so it's a really good time. It's a really good time for music right now, especially if you're kind of like a pretentious hipster like I am when it comes to music. So Kaytranada dropped the album. The album is called Timeless. Thames also dropped the album. I should know what the album is called. Look that up for me really quickly. And then Smino dropped a single called Polynesian. So I'm going to start really quick with Smino's single. I enjoyed it. It was cute. You know, kind of like his vibe, definitely. I feel like Smino can do no wrong. I've never not enjoyed something that he's put out. So I can't wait until he drops his next project. I'm excited to see like how he progresses as an artist, because everything he does is so creative and very distinctly him, which is why Drake was trying to steal him a while ago, like the barrettes and his whole like swag and style and everything. So I can't wait to see what Smino does next. So next we're gonna talk about let's talk about Thames next, because
the album is Born in the Wild.
Okay. So Thames, this was her first album, right? So I didn't know exactly what to expect from her. I had lower expectations, because one of her biggest songs was like a feature, and then I love African music. I love Afro beats, but I don't really love like the R&B feeling African music. It's just like I want it to sound different. That's just my personal like opinion. So I didn't know what exactly to expect from her first album. It was immaculate. Like no skips. Like it was really just like very well produced. Her voice, obviously, I have nothing bad to say about her voice. Her voice is like very rich, very deep. It's like dark chocolate, you know? Like it's not sweet, but it's like bitter in the best way. That's how it's like a rich hot chocolate. That's how her voice comes out to me. And her voice is amazing. So it's 18 tracks. I think from like track 4 to like track 12 is like just flawless, no skips. Like I like everything that's going on here. I only listened to it once, so that's my opinion after just one listen. I genuinely do think that after one listen for an album, you don't have a valid opinion. So I do need to spend more time with it. But from the first listen, I was very impressed. I had low expectations. She blew my expectations out of the water completely. So next is Kaytranada. Oh my God. I love Kaytranada. He's a producer. He makes beats. He does all the things. He's like, I wouldn't even say DJ Khaled, because DJ Khaled just be yelling on shit. Like he makes the music. He picks the people. He curates the vibes. Like he's amazing. And he's a DJ also. So Kaytranada's timeless. It starts out with Pressure. It's he does a lot of like instrumentals, so like people can like rap over and stuff, and do their thing over. Pressure sounded like, first of all, that voice in the beginning, Kaytranada, classic. That was Jay-Z, was it not? I think that was Jay-Z. Let me like really quickly play it for you out loud. That was Jay-Z. No, it sounds like maybe an AI Jay-Z voice, but the first track sounds like a classic like New York rap track. And I feel like he put that on there because it might have been like, I can do this. I can do this and I can do it well. And I would have been that nigga if I was doing this in this era. Continuing on, Spit It Out, featuring Rochelle Jordan. Love that song. Call You Up, Lou Phelps. I like Lou Phelps also. Next, we have Weird by Duran Bernard. That, from the first listen, was one of my favorite songs, but that's because he does the like weird like that shit that he does with his voice. The way Duran Bernard, like the way he uses his voice as an instrument, I enjoy immensely. So from first listen, I listened to this full album about 6 times. So this one, like, my opinion, I think is valid on this one. Call You Up, then Weird, Dance, Dance, Dance. I personally didn't enjoy the instrumentals as much as I did the like full songs with lyrics and everything. So Feel Away, Don Toliver, love that song. It wasn't like a full like all house like I expected from Kaytranada. Like it was, I love the variety that he gave us. Moving on, Still by Charlotte Day Wilson. Yeah, this song, hated it. This is one of the songs that I consistently skipped. Video is next by Raven Lene. Her voice, she sounds like a fairy angel. I love Raven Lene, and I really enjoyed that song too. We're gonna skip to Drip Sweat featuring Chanel Tress. I don't know how to say that name. And like I really like that song too. And then next is Hold On. Dawn Richard, girl, I didn't know you was back doing stuff. She's the girl from Danny Kane. Dawn, the dark skin girl. Her voice has always been really good. And then I'm not gonna do the whole thing because it was a lot of songs. And we're gonna skip to Do To Me, which was also one of my very favorite songs on the album. That's featuring Anderson .Paak. And then Witchy featuring Childish Gambino. He be getting in his bag, so I love that. And then next is Lover Friend. That was one of the singles that he dropped before he dropped the album. That's been on my playlist in rotation for a couple weeks now. So when I came across that, great. The next song is Wasted Words featuring Thundercat. Thundercat is a weird ass nigga. I love that weird ass nigga. Everything you do, Thundercat, I love. I genuinely do. Like your interviews, your music, you're just weird as fuck. And I feel like you're one of those niggas that I genuinely would have stayed away from in high school because I feel like you fetishize Asian women. That's just something I'm putting on you. I don't know if you actually do that for real, but you just give me that. But I love your music, and I loved this song. Next, Snap My Finger featuring Pink Panther is Bitch. You got it. Like, Pink Panther is definitely got it. Stuntin' is next, and then Out of Luck featuring Mariah the Scientist. Most of these songs were immaculately produced. I love the people that he picked to put on this album. They weren't just like your big names. You could tell that he just picked people that he genuinely wanted to work with, that he thought was talented. Kaytranada, out of 5 stars for this album, I'll give you like at least 4.2 or 4.3. Love that album. Like there's at least gonna be 4 or 5 songs constantly in rotation for the rest of my life from this album. And y'all know all I need is for you to give me 1 or 2 classics and I'm done. So loved it. That's it.
Oh, he was good. You got everything.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so we can stay in the music. Your girl Nicki was doing some cryptic tweets, referencing she may be single or a single coming.
So, the first thing I saw was her on her Instagram story, which she swiftly deleted after she posted it. But the girlies have screen record now, so that doesn't matter. You can't delete things. But she was on there like crying with matte eyeliner on. And she was basically like shouting out mothers. She was like, yeah, they do so much and you push out the child and you expect love forever for doing that. And it was just odd.
Do we think Mr. Petty is out the picture? Let's get to it.
He might be.
It's about time.
Yeah. And then also in one of her, because she's on tour right now, so one of the shows that she was doing, she came out and she was saying like, I never want to love anybody. I don't want to be loved. Like stuff like that, which is odd if you're married.
All this has been odd. She ever since that trip that she happened overseas where she got arrested, everything is starting to look way crazy. I thought if she was up, she was selling out. She on a slave tour, trying to get that money paid up. But
not the slave tour.
It just seems that a lot of this pressure probably is just reaching its boiling point with her. Mm-hmm. Because I can just see where it was bound. She needed to get rid of Buddy. Like it was the fact that you reproduce with the individual, sick behavior in itself. But like
the fact that her brand was so tarnished by being with somebody who is literally perceived as a pedophile, and then her not, like, you have to be with him for the rest of your life. Like that has to be your soulmate for that to make sense. And then for y'all to break up, like it feels like it was for nothing. Like all of the shit you went through, like people talking shit about you and your relationship and the reason that you decided to be with this man and you're not a girl's girl because you're with him and blah, blah, blah. Like, all of that was for no reason if you're not going to be with this man for the rest of until you die.
And you're kind of proving Megan right. Y'all wasn't mad at her. Y'all mad at Megan's law. Like, she waking it up on you. Like, you kind of got to double down on this. Because if you don't, you can say it makes you look even crazier.
Yeah, you gotta stay with him even if you're miserable.
You kind of got to have to thug that out. Like, unless he like going across your head, you need video proof of that one. Because, like, you look like the supervillain in all this.
But the way she's acting like he left or he did something to be left, which is crazy because...
How is he going to eat?
Yeah, like, as the very not famous non-breadwinner of the relationship, why would you do anything to put your relationship at risk or just leave yourself?
He must got the dirt, though.
Imagine if he just left himself after him being the problematic one in the relationship. Like, what the fuck is happening?
Could you just imagine him having, like, videos and videos of her doing lines, like, on his phone? Like, just think about the incriminating shit he could have.
He could, yeah. He could possibly have some very incriminating evidence against her. We have no idea what happened, though. They might still be together, and she might just be...
Like, niggas know he is sicko. Like, niggas already know. You documented, you done went to jail for it. You a sicko. But this is at one point probably the best time to do it before any kind of financial reckoning comes to fruition. This might be the best time to attack her if he does have documentation. But she kind of implied, I remember when she was talking to Kevin Samuels, she kind of like implied that they're not documented married. So maybe there could be, him maybe trying to get some more legitimacy in the relationship, and she's not trying to assist with that. Kind of like on some Rihanna ASAP shit. Like,
I was about to say, when you're a woman of that caliber and you're dating somebody who obviously makes way less money than you, the trend usually is for them to not get married on paper.
See, and that's funny because when it's the other way around, you don't care about her. If it was a nigga who, James Harden, if he act like that, he the worst nigga in the world. Mm-hmm. It's crazy.
It feels different when a man takes your money. Versus like
he held it down though. If he held it down like Petty did, Petty held it down.
I don't know. Petty didn't hold it down.
He did.
Petty held her down.
There was some dark times.
Like, but
he held her down.
Like, I don't know about that.
No, folks thought it was up for Nicki.
And people been saying that she hasn't been calling herself like the sleaze as much, which is like what she calls herself as, like in relation to her being
with the sleaze ball.
Like, no, like her being his girl, but that's wake it up.
I think we got the gag. That's I used that right. The gag.
You didn't use it right.
Oh shit. Oh my bad. I thought I was on.
I'm glad you didn't use that right though. I don't need you to use those terms right.
Okay. Well, that's cool. I'm with that. We can stay on some more music stuff that was going on. So rapper Enchanting. She passed away. Has been confirmed. So R.I.P. to her. She was an Atlanta rapper, right?
Yes.
Signed with 1017 Brick Squad.
That is so sad. Enchanting, I enjoyed her. She was one of those girls who rapped. Like, she had the deeper rap voice. Like, she was one of those, like, I like those girls. I like the deep rap voice girls.
I don't know if I've ever heard her music before, but when I saw the pictures of her, it was very clear, like, he was trying to pull his own Glorilla. Like, she gave a lot of Glorilla.
Well, that was before Glorilla.
I'm just saying,
Enchanting was signed a couple years, like, during the pandemic. Like, a little bit, maybe before the pandemic, Enchanting was signed to
when did FNF
1017.
came out? That wasn't 21?
Yeah, but, like, Enchanting was signed before then. Like, I remember, like, listening to her music a couple years before Glorilla even came out.
But she's about the same age as Glorilla, right?
She's
26.
She's 26 when this year when she passed away, which is very unfortunate.
All right, so we're going to get into some more details regarding 1017. I don't want anyone to think that we are incorporating her in this kind of curse and what they're saying, because I think what she kind of went through may have been a little bit separate from a lot of this. But I think in light of her passing, I think it is time again that we put the highlight on Gucci Mane. Mm-hmm. And
so before we get into that, I just want to say that apparently this is all alleged, but it's been like whisperings on the internet that it might have been an overdose. She has been going through a lot because another 1017 label mate of hers passed away. That was like her best friend. That was her nigga.
That was Big Scar.
Yeah. So that was her man, and she wasn't taking it well for the whole time, like the since he's passed. So a lot of people were just guessing that had to do with her passing, because she wasn't taking that well.
Mm-hmm. So, like I said, people have kind of done the science, and they've kind of looked back on with the last, you can just say half decade.
Mm-hmm.
We wouldn't have to go back that far. We can go back farther, but we don't have to go back that far. Just the last half decade of what some of the artists that have been associated with 1017 have kind of got involved in, or even lost their life. Either basically, the trend seems to be like you either end up dead or in jail.
Yeah.
Once you sign to his label, so there's a list of some of these his artists.
So this is from Reddit. There's a 1017 curse. So let's go through the apparent people who have been affected by this 1017 curse, starting with Pooh Shiesty. He is in prison. Next,
I'm gonna be honest. Pooh Shiesty, anytime I seen him or heard his music, it made me want to hold my wallet. I'm not
really.
gonna lie.
The whole demeanor and your whole aesthetic was like
the disposition.
You do crime.
The disposition was just horrible.
Yeah.
He was a scary individual.
Yeah.
And then your name was Pooh, so it's like you're trying to be disarming. Like, don't do that.
You trying to come off sweet, but you not.
No, you're a monster.
Matt Critter is in prison for a murder charge. Fujiano,
that's my nigga,
is in prison for cutting off an ankle monitor.
Nah, that nigga Fujiano got some hits. Don't do that to Fujiano.
I mean, he's still in prison for cutting off his ankle monitor.
Well, I mean, he was out there wilding. You know what I'm saying? He was trying to get to it. And then I thought Fujiano was going to be bigger than the baby. Like, I thought.
Not if you in jail.
They had some similarities.
Why would you cut off your ankle monitor?
Cause, man, he had some stuff.
You're
he had
obviously
to get off.
like you are out there about to let you fully have your freedom at some point. Like, you're not in jail. Just do your time, nigga.
No,
like,
he was trying out here. He was worried about some things moving on. So he had to get it going.
Yeah.
Like, again, Fujiano, I understand what was going on with my boy. It's a lot of BS. You know, it was a lot of stuff going on. It was more than that too. Like, he got caught up with a gun at one of his performances in his concert.
Hey. 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 Real niggas feel this one. What? Damn.
I know you feel this.
Okay, my God. See, he can't do nothing with you, yo.
Big Scar, dead of an overdose. Next we have Roboy in prison for a burglary. Rollo in prison for trafficking. Coach the Ghost in prison for murder. Or was
Yikes.
he murdered? I don't know. It just says murder. Hot Boy West in prison for robbery, and that is the last one. And then that's the last one. We're not gonna put the newest one in there.
Yeah, I mean, I don't feel like that was right to try to include her with that. I just think Gucci, like, you kind of, it has to come to the forefront where it's like, bro, what is your intentions with these people? Because I seen the missus talking about, you know, he's trying to help people better their lives and things of that nature, but are you really? Like,
No.
are you just trying to get a come up off these people?
Obviously, Gucci Man is in the Illuminati, and he is sacrificing these people so that he can maintain his celebrity. Also, he's a clone.
So, I mean, it is one to question. I know you're kidding, but there is something to ask the question, too, where it's like, there was a lot of complaints about, these record labels are getting deals or getting life insurance policies out on rappers, and there's a problem with that.
Which should be illegal.
Is this not something similar? Like, he may not be getting life insurance policies, but he is getting a catalog at the very least, or at least part of it.
Is he?
I mean, even if he's not getting the whole, I mean, I don't think he would get the whole thing just to be the honorable dude. But if you coming out with even 10% of something,
and then
that's insane.
Like my argument is, if you're stunting these people before they even get rolling, how does that financially benefit him in the long run if he's getting these catalogs of people who weren't hot past the city of Atlanta?
Well, I mean, they don't have to get hot because just think about, I'm pretty sure tomorrow there's going to be a post about Enchanting's Spotify numbers, and there's going to be a jump on it. You know what I'm saying? Like when someone dies, that kind of puts them, that immortalizes them, and in some ways gets a lot of people to listen to him for real. Like even when Pop Smoke was here, I didn't really listen to Pop Smoke until after he died.
Yeah, that's because you didn't live in New York.
Yeah, I didn't live in New York, but I heard people talking about him. I heard people, discussing who he was, so I was familiar with the name. But I never.
That still don't sit right with me.
What?
R.I.P. Pop.
Oh, for sure.
I still can't believe you died.
No, that wasn't the way he wanted to go. Hey, just speaking of this right now, R.I.P. the comic historian, Benny Potter. Man, it felt like I was listening to you for about almost a whole decade. Appreciate, man, just everything you brought to the space of comic books and just being like someone who like I could go to their page and get the full story on something and learn something. I know it was a lot of struggles, ups and downs for you, but man, I give you condolences to your family, and just want you to rest in peace, big dog. Appreciate the time that you gave us and the effort and the hard work, man.
Yeah, I know you did a lot for nerds and broke nerds too, because you literally read comic books. I never engaged in your content, but that's dope as fuck that you gave people who didn't have access to things that they enjoyed, like you let them be able to engage in those things, and that's really amazing.
Yeah, you built community, and like part of the reason why I'm doing what I'm doing was like seeing other folks just kind of just deviate from their niches and like do that. So just want to definitely give an RIP to Comic Historian, man. You're a good dude. And,
rest in peace, Comic Historian.
For sure, man, for sure. Let's see, what else do we have to get into? Hey, you know what I'm saying? I'm gonna break fourth wall for you. I hate trying to get Farrah to do anything coordinated. She just
am I
doesn't.
Supposed to do something after this?
I've been asked you 3 times today to make sure you introduce this topic.
Oh, okay. So the next thing that we have to get into is Michael Rainey. So there was a live stream that happened. There wasn't a natural for me to jump in. You just started staring at me awkwardly.
If I'm telling you, but if I tell you before, then for you to bring it up. If I'm telling you beforehand.
Okay, so Michael Rainey. Who is the streamers? What's his name that he?
Well, tell him who Michael Rainey is, just in case.
Michael Rainey
he's not
is
that famous.
Michael Rainey is the actor from Power. So he plays Tariq, Ghost's son on Power. And he's also in Power Book 2, where he's like the main character. He went on this streamer's platform. The streamer's name.
He's not a very popular streamer.
He's not super popular, but I've seen him a couple times in different places. But he went on the streamer's platform, and the streamer had like all of his family in the room that he was recording in. So it was like a couple of his sisters. Most of them, like 3 of them were like younger. They look like younger than 7. And then another one was about like 19, 20, 21. I don't know. But she was definitely older. And you could see Michael in the corner, and then she like whispers in his ear, and then you could see her hand doing something. And I was like, what is that? But then you could see Michael's face just like
he wanted to cry.
It was immediate like shock, didn't know what was happening, and then frozen, and then like trying to
there was some embarrassment in there.
Trying to like change the situation, and like one of his friends, I don't know if the friend who came over and put his arm around him saw what happened and knew what just happened and was trying to make him feel a little bit more comfortable, but it was just really hard to watch, and she was being so creepy. Like I was like, have some goddamn coof. Like I know he's a celebrity and you've probably been watching him for a long time. You might have a crush on him, but like rubbing on a man like that is never okay.
So the streamer's name is Ty Lil.
Yeah, Ty Lil's little sister.
Yeah, it was his sister, the one that did it. I'm be honest with you, man. Women are children, yo. You can't get mad at her for doing this. This is just what is part of it. Like No, y'all can be critical of her, but at the end of the day, she did nothing to him because we all know the truth. If he really wanted to defend himself, he can't do it because of his profile. But there was no point where he was actually in any danger for her touching him. Like, that is the reason why these occurrences are not looked at as the same. You can't do anything to me that I don't allow you to do.
She's a woman, so she physically is not in a position of power over him. Also, he's
physically,
a celebrity. Yeah, that's what I said.
Well, I was just saying because you said she's not in a position of power over him. I said physically.
I said physically she's not in a position of power over him. Also, she's not the celebrity he is. So, like, socially, she's also not in a position of. In general, she's not in a position of power over him, which is the difference between if the roles were reversed. But still, I feel like it was not fun to watch. It was very creepy, and I'm sure it was triggering for a lot of people who have been through sexual assault regardless of the gender because of his reaction. Like, it was immediate shock. What do I do? I'm embarrassed, frozen. Like, it was just yucky to see.
Nobody cares when that happens to guys because you can go through it and no one's going to say anything. The girl can potentially make any kind of accusations, especially if it's not on camera like this. She can say, oh, you're gay and make a rumor about you being gay. And that's why you didn't like her touching you and all this stuff. So, like, there was no way that he could handle it. The fact that we all know if he would have stole off on her after she touched him, granted, he may have been considered valid in most people's eyes. He was not going to be able to recover from that from a career standpoint.
Mm-hmm.
If he just would have pushed her. There was nothing he could have do. But in the same token, that's part of the game. The fact that she's not going to be held accountable the same way that you would be because she's not going to be looked at the same way.
No. So 50 Cent, like, speaking of what you are saying, 50 Cent came out and said he basically made light of the sexual assault. He was like, this is a Instagram post. He said, wait, sexual assault? From a male perspective, this was an aggressive advance. LOL in caps. He's fine. No charges are being pressed.
Because
shrugging emoji.
Nobody's going to, because nobody's going to care.
And then also, like we discussed on the last episode, he tags Branson Cognac effing vodka.
Oh, for sure. Got to add that on there. But like I said, no one's, and we're about to get into another topic afterwards where no one got hurt or got damaged or violated in any sense physically, and people are ready to tear up the internet for it. So we can get into the next story. So Megan Thee Stallion.
Yeah. So there was a deep fake video.
You can already tell with her voice. The way your voice switched up.
I just don't like it.
It's sick, young.
She wasn't hurt physically, but like
she wasn't hurt at all.
Let's talk about it. Megan Thee Stallion had a deep fake video of like a sexual, like it was like a porn that they superimposed her face onto. It wasn't great. Like the body, like I saw a little screenshot of it. Like it didn't even look like her. It wasn't really amazing looking, but she obviously was like very affected by it. She tweeted about it, and then I don't know what she was crying about on stage when she was performing Cobra, but like in her most recent performance when she was performing Cobra, she broke out like into tears. She was like crying on stage. And the general consensus that I've seen, but I'm just so annoyed because like she generally doesn't get any empathy for anything that she's ever going through. So when she tweeted and said that like this was fucked up and that like this wasn't fun for her to be going through, people were basically blaming her of setting this up and like putting it out herself. And then I was just thinking about the general consensus when this happened to Taylor Swift, and it was just pictures. Like they were disgusting pictures. Honestly, I saw them and I was like, these are obviously AI. Like there's nobody with a brain and any cognitive functioning that's gonna think that this is actually Taylor Swift. This doesn't even look like her body. But like the general, like everyone was so disgusted by whoever it was that posted these pictures and nobody blamed her for it. The reaction was very different from a picture of her that looks very, very fake to like a video that, like, to me it didn't look real, but like to some people they thought that, like, oh, like, look at this, like Meg has a video that leaked. Like, regardless of if it's you or not, that it feels like an extreme, like, invasion. Like, people think that they saw you naked. People think that they have this video of this intimate moment of you, and the difference between the internet's reactions to the two, just like, it didn't throw me off. I was gonna say it threw me off. It's not ever gonna throw me off between the levels of empathy white women get, between the levels of empathy that white women get versus that the levels of empathy that black women get. But it's just like, it's still jarring.
I'm not going to dispute that in any capacity. That's not kind of where I was leaning at. My thing was this, and it was the same thing I said with the original. These aren't real. So, like,
they're obviously not real, but
we're
chronically online.
No, I understand.
And we know these things, but people think that these things are real.
Again, it goes back to my original point from the last thing, where it's like a fake engagement, fake a piece of essentially computer art gets this reaction like it's the end of the world, when all it is just some digital imagery, some bullshit that that you as your public figure
can be.
I feel like
it's because you're not a woman that you don't.
No, I'm just saying it's because y'all are women. Y'all can be affected by something so trivial.
It's not trivial.
Yes,
though.
it are. Because last time we had this. Yes, it is. Yes, y'all are. This happened in our last conversation, where if we said a different discussion, if someone took Donald Trump or somebody else and superimposed a micro penis on them, nobody would care. That's happened before. Nobody cares when that happens to men, because you know why? Men have to suck it up and say, this isn't a real picture of me. This is fake. This is computer generated. But y'all don't have to.
That's because men's feelings aren't taken into consideration, because that's the system that y'all fucking set up. Y'all feelings aren't taken into consideration because y'all don't express them.
No, it's not because we express them.
It's a sign of weakness.
No, we don't express them because we have other things that are more important in society that we have to be responsible for.
But who set up this whole...
Men in power, not just men. Men in power did
this.
Specific men did this and applied that to all other men. So let's not do that whole topic of who did this, who did what. Let's talk about what is.
Like, y'all are still mostly benefiting from the system. And then I feel like... Damn, I lost my train of thought. I had it, and then I lost it.
I'm just saying, this is just childlike things to be upset about. And, again, it only happens because it's a woman.
I feel like you have a general lack of empathy to feel like this is a trivial thing to be upset about.
But it's not true, though, because I've been 100% consistent. When I said that shit happened with Sexy Red, I was 100% on her side, because you know why? It was real. I said that's fucked up for that to happen to you. Have real shit be but if somebody's sitting here playing on a computer and draws your face on a naked body, that's the real game. Then go out and say, do what she did. Make a public statement, say it's not. It's not real, but it's not the end of the world.
But like, we know for a fact that, like, the truth is never as interesting as the lie. And after people believe the lie, then, like, they don't care about the truth. You can come out and you can say that this isn't real. All of the people who, like I said before, rationally can think, probably, like, as soon as I saw it, I didn't think it was real. Meg coming out and saying that it wasn't real, I didn't need that. So who needs that in the first place? Like, dumbass people who don't even want to believe that it's not real.
But even if it was, like, the thing is, it was so inconsequential just because it is not. It's literally like if I drew, and I've said this multiple times, if I drew a realistic picture of her or of any other celebrity in a compromising situation, that is my art and my freedom of speech to be able to do. If I'm not selling it, there's definitely no problem.
I think that's a different conversation. My thing is how she felt.
Yeah, she could feel, but it's based off nothing.
is just having empathy. I'm putting myself in her shoes, and I'm trying to think about, like, if I was her and people were thinking that they saw this video of me, like, it would fuck me up. Like, genuine, like, personally, it would fuck me up.
Just how bad it was is why I definitely can't really give it much credence. I would be more
It was
upset
really bad
if I was with DDG's video they did with Halle.
I didn't see that one. But
that one, it was more in line with it could have been real. Because what they tried to do is they showed an image of his face. The camera pans over to her face. They try to scare her with a like an effect from the app, and she jumps back, and you see like a breast pop out. Mm-hmm. But it's like it's all fake shit. That one was more realistic than the Meg one. I can see where you would be more upset regarding that. But in the same token, it's all artificial. And like y'all get upset. And it's another thing too. It's like y'all get upset when y'all put all of this information, all of this content out because you want to have celebrity. You want to be praised. You hate the fact that the negative shit that comes with it. And the negative shit come with it is people doing fan art. That's what it is. It's fan art. You may not like it, but it's fan art. Niggas who like Dragon Ball, what is it? Shipping, right? That's a thing in anime. You like anime?
Fan art is evolving. Like, fan art used to just be like people scribbling in their notepads, and then they had like Adobe, and they could do like Illustrator and stuff, and you had to go to specific places to get that. And now, like, people have AI, and they can superimpose your face to a body that looks like yours, and it could look very real, and people can fulfill their full fantasies thinking that they fully saw you naked, and they didn't. And it's still, if it looks enough like you, I could understand how that still feels like an invasion of privacy, even though you're a celebrity and you put, like, Meg puts all this like hypersexual content out. Yes.
I mean, if anybody makes it easy, there's apps that you can go right now that you can take a girl in a bikini and it can draw her naked. But nobody can get that picture of the bikini unless she puts it out there. So, I mean, at the same token, like, you want praise. And I guess that's kind of like my main point about this is like, you want praise in a certain environment and in a certain field, which is entertainment. This kind of comes along with it. Like, as long as it's not real, documented, like from your personal archives coming out, I don't really feel sorry for you because there's no violation of privacy to be had. Your image was just done with. Like, that's just like me making you look like a devil or look like a bull or look like
I still feel sorry for you, but it's just I feel like this is obviously the new frontier of like creepy fan art shit, right? So this is going to happen more and more. And we just need to have the discernment as like the audience and people who are on social media to know that this shit isn't real and this shit is just creepy motherfuckers who want to fulfill their fantasies and see these people naked and whatever they want to see happen, and know that it's not real. The celebrities need to immediately just come out and say that like this is some nonsense and it's not real. And there need to be channels where I guess this needs to be taken down, because also like there are no laws against this. Like you can put someone's face on somebody else's body and post it, and because it's your art.
You know the people who like they'll sit at the park and just draw the people and stuff like that stuff.
There's a guy who does that at the mall.
Yeah, and then you'll get if he what you're saying, if it be illegal if you write something that isn't improper, then he should be able to get arrested by it. It was like, what? I just drew something on a piece of paper.
You see how I'm getting better? I didn't say the name of the mall or nothing. I just said the mall.
Look at you, get it. Look at her. Figuring it out. But no, I think that's just my main token with it. It's just, again, it's just a piece of art that's now part of reality. Like being able to do realistic art has always been something people have tried to do for years. Mm-hmm. And we're on the verge of perfecting it. And this is just kind of what part of it. You don't want to be a celebrity, then don't be great, nigga. Just go clock in. It ain't hard. A lot of niggas do it.
What are we doing?
What?
What are we doing here? What are we doing?
We're trying to be famous, so we got to accept what comes with it.
So, okay, so what do you, like, how do you feel if that would happen to me?
We would have to try
if they just took my face and put it on a skinny black girl's body. I
would try to tell you that if it's not real, we gotta not let it fly. We can't even give it no acknowledgement. I wouldn't even tell you to tweet nothing about it.
Really?
Why would we even give it acknowledgement? That doesn't we win nothing from that.
Okay, so you don't think it needs to be acknowledged at all because it's so obviously fake.
Yeah, even if it wasn't fake, like once the reporters come asking about it, you just give that's not real. You give it a straight little statement, PR statement, and keep it moving. You're not giving any of that weight.
Doctored footage.
Like we're not gonna sit here and get you up in tears and up in arms because that's what they want.
I wouldn't be on stage crying like Meg.
But that's what they want though. That's what they want to see from you.
But yeah.
I'm glad you're not a Chris Brown fan though.
I think women who are Chris Brown fans, I've talked about this on the show. I think y'all are delusional bitches who hate women.
Like I think everything can
and
be
I think y'all are pygmies. I think y'all have internalized misogyny that y'all need to fucking work on, because after a man beats on a woman that violently for that long and then has a history of violence against women, just consistent history of violence against other human beings too, and you still fucking love that nigga as much as you do, bitch, you need mental help. You need to go to the hospital.
I think
what happened though?
I think it goes with being said, like, there's no longer just the Chris Brown problem. It's the Chris Brown fan problem. And when you have anybody who's going to give a celebrity 11 in regards to money, $1,111
angel numbers for this man.
When you giving somebody that just for a meet and greet, that's just telling on what kind of personality you have and what you're about.
Y'all
like
gave
it's mad thirsty.
Chris Brown.
Niggas gave folks 80% of their rent.
Like so much of your money to take pictures with him.
And just hold on to him. And then I've
like
noticed,
y'all didn't even get a couple minutes.
I will notice this: the popular ones that were going around. I don't know if this is again. I'm not seeing all of them.
Y'all didn't even get stuck on a Tibolo.
The quality of women have gone down. Either that the fan base is eating too much Burger King,
or that's just the only thing that's going viral.
I'm just saying, it just seems like a low product. Chris, even himself, on some of them pictures, did look dissatisfied. He looked like, this is not where I want to be. He looked upset.
But those are your biggest fans.
Literally.
Women who
those were literally his biggest fans.
Oh my God.
Like my boy was holding on for dear life with Shawty. He was on that ham hock going crazy. Like, and then the face, like, you could just see he was just upset. Like, he just knew he had about 10 more muck mouth women coming up. Probably the breath smelled like they got gold fronts in them. Like, this wasn't the top tier of the top tier.
I don't like that.
Chris is used to the one paying $11.11 for the women. Now they paying for him, but you don't get the same product. You don't. Male transactions, you don't get the same kind of like equal quality over. Like you kind of really get pushed to the bottom. The bottom of the barrel chicks, those are the ones that's working the 9 to 5s that's going to be able to pay for that. Not the model ones. The models ain't got it like that. The models only get paid $15. Maybe at the end of the month if they lucky. So
I'm trying to.
It's bad though. Like that's the thing where it's like we kind of just have to be critical of these women that's going up there. And then like, Chris, what you doing if a male fan comes up there? Like, you know it's a gay dude who wants to get that little back to back with Chris Brown. You think Chris Brown will hold a dude leg?
Hold a dude
like leg up like he was holding Shawty leg up.
So I don't know, but there are probably like gay men who have paid 100%. For this package, but he probably isn't taking pictures like that with. You
think he just dapping them up?
Nah, he's probably just doing like a.
You think he put his arm around him?
Yeah.
I don't think Chris putting his arm around.
No, I think you have to if
Chris.
They pay
Chris comes off very homophobic to me. I don't think that he would do that.
Yeah.
Remember what he did we talked about what he did to Frank.
Yeah.
Pretty sure there was a maggot thrown in there when they were tussling.
But I feel like he has to at least put his arm around.
They're definitely doing the fake dap photo. And gay niggas don't really like the dap either, so they really be upset about that. They don't even really want to dap like that. They kind of want to do the little embrace hug, like you just embrace with it. They like that. They like that. They cool with that.
That's how gay niggas like to dap.
Yeah, they like to get that touch in.
I was trying to find this text thread, but I forgot I got a new phone. And the text thread is gone. But one of my friends told me that she couldn't come to my barbecue because she was going to a Chris Brown concert.
That's crazy.
In the group chat, and I flamed her for mad long. And then a couple days later, I thought about it, and I was like, I might have bullied her a little bit. I was like, you should be ashamed of yourself as a woman.
I mean, you kind of, at
like,
this point, we have to bully the Chris Brown
I was like,
fans.
no, you should not have just said that in the group chat like that. You should have lied and said something else. Like, that's not something that you should just tell us. That you just going to a Chris Brown concert and you missing
but is there,
my barber. Like, I was going
saying,
in.
Is there shame in that, though? Did you see how many people were in Detroit for him?
No, I have no idea.
That nigga was skating through the crowd, like over, like, I guess he was doing like a little what's the name, Bret Hart type shit, going through the ceiling of the roof of the arena, and that shit was packed.
Speaking of going through ceilings and roofs of arenas, Nicki wasn't going through a ceiling; she was coming up from the bottom. But I did see it. Like, this is very random, but it's been weighing heavy on my heart. I saw a video of Nicki Minaj. She was coming up from the bottom of the thing. She's on tour. She's performing. She's coming up from the stage. She takes a pull. I'm like, okay, this is the last pull, cause you can see the head. Nope. She takes another pull. I'm like, all right, this has to be the last pull. She takes one more pull, and then she holds it down and realizes that she's too high, so that she just drops the blunt. She just flings it. And then she starts, and I'm like, girl, how you smoking a blunt that close to, like, you immediately performing? And then I was like, that's why she be so winded on stage. I understand, because you be smoking right before you get out. Nicki.
I refuse to believe anybody who does routine cocaine use, allegedly, is going to get geeked up off some couple totes or some
No, I feel like you going to get winded, though.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah, that's all I'm saying.
But let's be honest. Did Nicki,
like, you can't do that.
Has
right
Nicki ever give us a workout routine ever? Like, has she ever done that? Like, you know how Meg was just doing that? Like, we've never got that from Nicki.
No.
There's never been any kind of, so we know her stamina is on the lower tier.
Yeah. But
like
that was just
did you see Chris Brown doing judo flips?
That is because he does crack.
That nigga's on one.
Crack.
Like, but you can say that whatever. You still got to be an athlete. Nigga was doing a figure 4 leg lock in the air.
There be crackheads in the hood carrying refrigerators on their backs.
And they was ex-football players too.
Oh my God. I got it. Look, there was this lady talking about old crackheads versus new crackheads on TikTok. Did you see it?
Mm-mm.
All right, keep talking. I'm going to try to find it.
Old crackhead.
But Chris Brown is definitely, Chris Brown gives old crackhead. He gives old crackhead energy.
That's not necessarily fair though, because a lot of they shit was like uppers. Like, they had a lot of shit that made you like go up, like even cocaine and shit. Like, that pushes you up. Like, right now, a lot of the kids is doing downers. So you can't really compare.
They are doing
the junkies of new to the junkies of old. They was on a totally different experience.
Damn, TikTok doesn't let you just type in old crackhead.
I'm sure they wouldn't.
No results.
They're not going to let you bring that up. Was there anything else you wanted to touch on with the Chris Brown shit? With the
nah, just that he does crack.
His fan base needs to be ashamed.
He does crack,
himself.
and y'all need to stop saying. Y'all need to be his fan base in secret. Shh.
But I mean, again,
shut your mouth, dumb bitch. Don't just love him in secret.
It goes back to what we said earlier. It goes back to what we said earlier about women being children. No, y'all need
to feel like dumber bitches. Y'all need to be less proud, and y'all need to be more ashamed.
Or no, y'all just accept the children that y'all are. Because even then, like, here's another childlike situation. The dad is a bad dad, but who still loves him? The child. That's what children do. They love bad people even when they've showed them to be bad.
Innocence.
You got to wake it up, man.
That's what they have.
And we can talk about a woman who's trying to be an adult by herself. You want to bring her up? Ebony K. Williams?
I don't know what's happening. With
You didn't see what Ebony K. she's doing?
She don't be popping up on my algorithm.
She's taking her next step. Remember how she used to always tell us how she froze her eggs?
Oh, so she's
pregnant now.
Oh, so she fertilized the egg
solo.
Oh, period.
No dick.
Do that, bitch. Go ahead.
She took it straight out the bank.
What? Okay, so what's
folks are upset with her though.
Why are folks upset with what the fuck she's doing with her uterus?
Because why are you purposely walking into single motherhood?
Girl, if that's the choice that you are willing to make and you can actually afford to do that, obviously you can also afford single motherhood, because fertility treatments and things of that nature are not cheap. And you have the money, girl, hopefully you have the village. And if that's what you wanted to, but you probably, the argument, the more valid argument is that you should have adopted.
That probably would have been better.
Like, if you want to make an argument about like being mad about Ebony K. Williams and what she's doing with her own goddamn uterus,
that old uterus,
her own, regardless of how old it is hers and none of your goddamn motherfucking business, bitch. Regardless of how I feel about her, like the more valid, more moral, humane argument is that instead of going through all of this, why didn't you just adopt? Because there are already living children who are in terrible conditions that you could have saved. And why are biological children so much more valid to people than adopting? It's because you need to validate some type of your ego, and it's not about parenthood. And that is way more of an important conversation to have, right? Than why this woman wants to raise a child by herself. That is so superficial and fucking stupid.
I mean, I agree. She, to me, my problem with her is with a lot of people who are in these seats that have been successful in whatever field or whatever transitions that they've done, is they try to make this look like an example that everyone can follow. Now, to be fair, she has been honest of how expensive it is.
It's mad expensive. You don't have to be transparent about that.
So no, but what I'm saying is, even then, people miss those parts. Like when those parts aren't screamed to the rooftops, people miss that part. And they think that that is an option for multiple women. That's not going to be a viable option for many women at all.
No.
It's only going to be an option.
Not.
The women who qualify for this, Tracee Ellis Ross, Maya.
She don't want no goddamn kids.
So
Neither do
again,
she.
But those are the people who would qualify for something that could do that. Women who are super duper talented in their field and they earn a lot.
You don't even have to be talented.
In your field, yes, you do.
You just have to make a lot of. There are a lot of people who aren't talented who make a lot of money. But you just have to make a lot of money. Women who make a lot of money.
I would argue that the women who make a lot of money, they are talented in something that...
There are mad women who you don't know who make a lot of money. Lawyers, and real estate agents, blah, blah, blah.
And there's also people in those same fields who don't make money because they're not talented.
Yeah, regardless.
Those fields, all you just described were people who make money that are talented.
I just... Like, you were naming people who are like
the only
famous.
jobs that people get that make money that aren't necessarily really talented be like tradespeople. Like, and there's still a lot of talent that goes into that.
Tradespeople are talented.
I didn't say that. I said that the only jobs that they can make money where you can get like a baseline, it would be something like a trades job. Most jobs that you get a lot of money,
I feel like
you have to,
in trades you have to you have to be talented to do a trade.
No, not necessarily. Not to be 100. There's people, we've seen plenty of houses where folks are getting trade money and they're doing shitty jobs. Yeah. They just are able to say, I'm a contractor. Like, no, it's not that intricate.
I just feel like traditionally you have to be talented to be a tradesperson and to be like a corporate.
You just gotta be confident.
Yeah, to be a corporate person, you just have to just be like smart. But creativity and talent.
I would argue there's more creativity in a good tradesperson than it is a good corporate person.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Mm. You have to have more talent and creativity to be a tradesperson than the latter.
But what I'm saying is you can have the name and be a average person in that field and make good money. But you go into a corporate office and you're average, they're not going to pay you a lot of money. That's what I'm saying.
I don't know. Because I feel like it's flipped. I feel like we have a flipped.
No, because I can show you even more. There's literal hazards that you have to operate. So just like when we had to get the plumbing done here, and there was a dude that literally just stood there the whole time, probably the most untalented one in there, but was still getting a sizable salary from just working there. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Because there's a hazard pay. You're working with things that can end your life. You're working with chemicals. You're working with body and all that kind of stuff, fluids. So
I don't know. I feel like there are mad project managers in corporate that get paid 6 figures to just tell people what the schedule is, and they don't actually do anything for real. I genuinely think that people who have trades are way more talented than people in corporate positions.
It's debatable. But we got to get back to Ebony K. I think that this is going to be used.
I thought you would agree with me because you're like more of a blue collar than a white collar.
You're missing my point if you don't think it because you're not listening to what I'm saying. Like, I'm literally saying to be a great tradesperson, yes, you would need to be talented.
Yeah.
I'm saying somebody can come to your house, say, listen. Somebody can come.
There are a lot of mediocre tradespeople.
Yes, I'm saying that you can
I'm
have
saying
a
there
title.
are more mediocre corporate people than there are tradespeople.
And what I'm saying is you can make more money being mediocre in a trade than you can being mediocre in corporate.
Okay.
That's literally been my point the whole time.
Okay. Yeah, I still
Because
don't think so.
Even if
but let's continue.
I'm telling you why. I just literally told you why. There's
yeah,
still
but
hazard.
I disagree, but let's just continue.
So with Ebony K.
I understand your point and I still disagree.
Do you see this as being manipulated and romanticized in the future?
No. I don't think single motherhood is ever romanticized. It's
this is single motherhood with a hint
it's a
of boss
decision.
bitch.
It's a decision that you make begrudgingly on your own after you have no other options. I don't think this is something that's going to be romanticized because it's not something that every woman, like, genuinely, it's not something that every woman wants. Women, if you want a child, you want somebody to raise that child with. You want that child to have a father figure in the home. It's not the general consensus amongst women who want children that they're okay with just no father figure being in the picture whatsoever. I think this is just like a sensationalized kind of like topic. Like, she obviously has the money to do that, and that's the decision that she made. But I don't think it encourages women to do the same, because to me, women want to raise a child with a father. They don't want to raise kids on their own. Like, that's not something that I've seen as the general. There are outliers. There's always outliers. But I don't think that's the main consensus amongst women. Like, we want to raise our children with fathers.
I think when you look at the trend that's just going off where people are choosing to forego marriage, forego having children and things of that nature, I think
there are people who are foregoing just
I think
all the things.
And
just
I think
fuck the kids and the husband and
that's
the
been
wife.
happening more and more in regards to
Which is
people
fair.
having more options and things of that nature and more information.
Mm-hmm.
And I just think that this is going to blend into what people think that this is going to be a more suitable option. I think if we keep going and operating in the way that we are, this will be more of a norm. I can see this most definitely happening being a norm. Where the fact that we aren't giving men enough money to be able to support and actually have families, that you're going to have more men who are going to sperm banks, just giving their money nut over there, not going to be being with
money
women.
nut.
Yeah, getting money from their nut over there, and then they're going to be sitting there.
I like money nut.
Women are going to be choosing like, hey, I still want to use my body to have a child, and they'll just go to the factory, and then it's just separate like that. We're not even gonna have to worry about it. Niggas just gonna have to pay higher taxes because of the kids, just to make sure we all level out, because all y'all are not gonna be bright enough to make the right decisions and all of this, especially when y'all by yourselves. So I just think that we're coming to a place in the future where I think that her being someone of notoriety and putting so much emphasis on it can make it to a way where it becomes more viable.
I don't think she's a person of notoriety.
I think this where it could be the start. Black women can get a lot of shit going, get on the road.
Black women get a lot of shit going all the time, but I don't think Ebony K. Williams is gonna convince y'all to jump into single motherhood.
I'm saying,
especially because of how expensive it is to do like artificial insemination and things of that nature. There's only like but a percentage of women who can afford that in the first goddamn place.
But what I'm saying is, with her being a focal point in front of it, you can get more funding and things of that nature that turns into it being an easier process. And these conservatives, man, they being bold, man. I mean, this is going to be our last topic right here. We got to talk about TikToker Ladis. LLDDIS. So she was a white woman who was, I seen this a few days ago, and I just thought she was the boldest cracker of all time.
She was talking about something, but at the end of the video, she said broke ass niggas.
Basically, what she was doing,
she said she not marrying broke ass niggas. I said, girl.
No. This is you missing the whole thing of what she was going on. She was talking about how a lot of the girls that she knows, they aren't going after money. They're not trying to get a guy that got a whole bunch of money and all this other stuff. They just want a guy that likes them and X, Y, and Z. She said, me and the girls that I'm with, we all dating broke ass niggas. It's the immigrants that are the are the ones that are gold digging, trying to go after the men. This chick off top she had her MAGA hat on ready. I think her name is Lily or Lillian.
Yo, regardless of what her name is, she was doubling down on all those comments. Everyone was like, huh? And she was like, you heard what the fuck I said.
She even did a fake apology where she was like, I've, thought about what's been going on and I don't give a fuck.
She got banned from TikTok.
That's a bold bitch. Yeah, I tried to keep going back to her post to see.
Yeah, she got banned from TikTok and she also got fired from her job.
So apparently she was like some real estate type. I believe that's what that was. She was working with a real estate company.
She was fired from said company.
This was a whole
plan. And then she was also banned from TikTok, but she's still active on Instagram and
she on X.
Yeah, so X has very much embraced her, like all the Proud Boys, all the.
No. Let's hold on now. Let's take this into the steps. This was a coordinated plan. She knew exactly what she was trying to do.
She is great value pearl, but more attractive.
Yeah, they gonna rock with her a lot more. Like, I'm over here on her page. I'm looking at her X page. She got InfoWars interviewing her. That's Alex Jones' platform. The War Room. The Hodge twins, which those are the biggest coons of all time.
Yeah.
2 twin coons. So excited. Let me go read this tweet that these fucking ass clowns
while you pull that up, if you go back to her Twitter and her social media a couple years ago, it was the complete opposite. She was not conservative. She was very liberal. She was very like pro BLM, pro women's rights and all that stuff. And then her platform, she had like about 60K followers within like 3-4 years of influencing. So you could arguably say that that's like slow. For
she's got 90K followers, and this is literally, she started this page in November 2023.
Yeah, so when she flipped to the conservative shit, she grew a lot.
So let me read off of one of the tweets, right?
On her Twitter, though, if you go back, it's the opposite rhetoric.
I can believe it. Okay, so this is the Hodge twins, because they invited her on the show. She says, black people are ready to hang this white girl because she said nigga in a video? Why do we act so weak and fragile? We ready to burn it all down over a white girl saying our word, but we silent when the politicians send billions to foreign countries. Y'all are the stupidest coon twin half and half looking motherfuckers ever.
She also supports Israel, and she said that like she doesn't support Palestine at all. So what are they talking about?
That's what I'm saying. They're just stupid. They're dumb ass clowns. Like, and just the fact that these ain't the only black men I seen that was like fiending over for her. Like, don't get me wrong. I understand. You want a pretty white girl to call you nigga in bed. I completely understand the sentiment. But when she's out here not giving you any sexual gratification and you just letting her get the nigga off, you are a Simbo. You are. You might as well let her buck break you while we at it. Because that's what you out here looking like. Looking like a real Sambo.
That's really crazy.
For real, you might as well just dress up like Mr. Popo.
Jesus Christ.
Man, we gotta wake this shit up. We can't out here let this play around and let this girl get this shit off. Like, these folks acting like her saying the N-word isn't obvious racism.
It is. And she said it with mad conviction. Like, she said that shit with
like, no, y'all don't get to say our word. And if y'all do, of course, because y'all can make the noise, if y'all do say it, you're going to get criticism and we're going to come at y'all.
If you do say it around me, I'm putting my hands on you physically. I'm inflicting physical violence on you.
Like y'all not gonna be able to get this
Try
shit
to
off.
say nigga around me. I
knew this time was coming.
Bitch.
I knew this time was coming where these conservatives would go as far as someone saying the word and still being like, "Oh, y'all trying to say this person is racist because they said nigga." You think just because they got a KKK support group in there, like, and then
why do you think it's okay for you to say that?
And then when we talk about the implications of where stuff like this can go, because that's the problem, and I blame us in a way as well because we give so much of this shit attention. Like, we're supposed to give it attention when we're on the show, but like normal everyday black people, y'all shouldn't be giving this shit attention.
Why are y'all in her comments kiki-and like, she's saying it with her chest, da-da-da, bitch?
Or why are y'all in her comments shitting on her? Because you know what the algorithm sees? Engagement.
Yeah.
And you know what engagement does? Push it to more people.
Which is why so many of us saw it.
We get rage bait by these crackers so often, and we don't see the play. This is what she was trying to do the whole time.
As soon as y'all saw it, I would have just reported and just don't even continue watching it. Don't comment. Just report and keep scrolling.
This is exactly what she wanted. She wanted y'all to get upset so all of the conservatives can fill her head up and fill her pockets up with money on these events that she's going to do. And then eventually she's going to find some rich conservative prick that's going to pay her way through life.
Yeah.
And y'all, we allowed that to happen. Like, she not even no real conservative because she had her tits out in a video like right afterwards.
Yeah, she's
a trad thought. We can't use their words.
I don't wanna.
I'm just saying, she's out here doing trad thought behavior.
I just feel yucky.
Traditional thought behavior. It's disgusting.
That was our word from the jump, though.
Yeah, so that's why we added on. That's why I felt okay saying it.
But yeah, I don't like that.
No, it's just it's a sick and disgusting play. What's her name? Tommy Lauren did it back in the day.
She did.
This chick just did it on a smaller scale.
And Tommy, it didn't where is she now? Nowhere to be found.
Well, they portrayed her when she tried to stand on her women's shit. Cause she used to be with what is that, Glenn Beck? I hate Glenn Beck so much. She used to be on Glenn Beck's show, and they tried to get her to denounce women having a choice in regards to like abortion and stuff, and she didn't want to do that, and then they kicked her off the show. She still get her shit off now. She still do her conservative BS, but it's, again, y'all so funny how y'all just fall for these inconsistencies.
I just feel like it's really funny because y'all try to be like, white women specifically try to be so like gung-ho with these conservative people, and then Tommy LaHaren in like, for a specific example,
that Isabel girl too, remember we talked about her?
Yeah, like, you tried to get in line with these people, but you obviously have views that don't align with them that affect your livelihood as a person, like body positive, like what's the word? Not body positivity, but like women's rights and like your right to abortion and things of that nature. Reproductive rights is your reproductive rights. And if you're like very conservative and right wing, that's going to be something that you're going to have to give up. And you're still a woman, so you have to make the decision, and y'all be making the wrong decision. Like, white women consistently, historically, make the wrong decision.
They just follow white men.
We can end the show there.
No, I mean, you're right.
Y'all be making the wrong decision. Historically, y'all be on the wrong side consistently. And if y'all were on the right side, then we would be able to make some change. But y'all are not.
To be fair, they did work
and then
with slavery,
poor people if white people in general be on the wrong side, because y'all be with the rich people and y'all don't realize that in general we all fucked. We all getting fucked by the same like 20 people. And y'all want to be one of them 20 people so bad.
No, they don't.
You
they
can't
don't,
be.
That's the thing, though. They don't even be wanting to be one of those 20 people. They just want to be able to say, I'm above the people they tell me I'm above.
And you can't. You're not. You're getting
same shit.
Fucked.
Same experience. We shop at the same Walmart.
Fucked the same way we are. And we need to realize that we all getting bent over the same way. The faster we realize it, the better we'll be off as a country.
Man, it's just nuts, man. And then, like, she's not even like, she looked like an extra. Like, she like extra on a TV show cute. Like not even like bad. Like this ain't no
just a regular white woman.
This ain't no Margot Robbie.
Just a regular white woman.
Just very, very basic, unsalted white woman.
Not even spicy white.
Real Sun Dodger shit, yo.
Not even like a Selena Gomez.
Nothing.
Like just
like the only thing nice about her, she got the little bounce in her hair. Only thing.
She put rollers in last night.
Probably. Trash shit, man. What do you feel about this Twitter and removing the likes, man?
I feel like Elon Musk had that tweet that he got caught and he was like, if you look like this, hit me up. And it was a bunch of fucking young ass anime girls. And since then, somebody tweeted and they were like, likes is gone from then. And then likes is gone now because you creepy motherfuckers can't get caught no more. And I feel like if you are a smart person, then you can't get caught with your likes. You like things specifically because you want and know that other people are going to see it. So this is stupid and it was unnecessary. And it's just making Twitter seem like less of a community like environment, which it's felt less like since Elon Musk has taken over for X. All of the threads are filled with like ads. It's not even people commenting on things. It's just people trying to get engagement for other things and trying to make money. It's a whole clusterfuck. It's gone. X is not a thing anymore.
No, I just thought it was very stupid that like they changed this feature because the celebrities and people who are using the app are so dumb they don't realize there was a feature already added called bookmark that allowed you to do exactly what we're talking about here. You can save the tweet and list the tweet the same way the likes did.
Yeah.
And because y'all are stupid as fuck, y'all can't hide y'all racism and porn addiction. That's the reason why they take this away.
I can just make a separate Twitter account for the porn.
But even then, you can still use the bookmark feature. I promise you, if she saw my bookmarks, it'll be a conversation. But it's not publicly available. My bookmarks are for me to go back and look at. And I don't want other people to know what I'm going back and looking at. It's right there. The feature was already created. And y'all are just stupid, dumb fucks. And y'all just keep getting exposed. And instead of being smarter individuals, like y'all tell everybody else to be every day, y'all change systems around so that y'all don't get caught. And y'all can still be dumb assholes. It's fucking crazy. I gotta get you. We gotta close up now. You over here yawning. You been yawning the whole show.
Yeah.
Folks be over here thinking I'm boring you.
I just be needing more oxygen in my body.
No, clean it up now. Clean it up now. All right, you sure you ain't got nothing else we got to get to?
No, not at all.
We did everything.
Do your sign off.
We did everything pretty much on the list. We got it all. We all got it through.
Yep.
Stop trying to get me off to get this.
I need to pee. I guess I need to pee. I need you to do your sign off so I can do my thing.
This nigga right here, man. Life is a labor of love. So let's keep building these moments together. And remember, your job is not your family. And the only thing you should be exploiting is these corporations. Talk FNF TV, baby.
Follow us on all of the social media at talk.fnftv on all of the social media platforms. So that's Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, TikTok. Follow, like, subscribe, talk.fnftv. We're out. Peace. Love you guys. Bye.
All right, we gone.